Last time on the Freedom Guild. Septimus, Crunchy, Zooks, and Libertarius successfully fled the increasingly perilous city of Tamiston, finding themselves in a refugee camp on the outskirts of the town of Harmony Hills. Septimus and Libertarius bartered with the captain of the guard, Elias Bosley, for entrance. Before they could enter, however, the duo discovered that Zooks had disappeared while defending the autocart. With Crunchy having been his usual amount of helpful, the gang must now make their way through the camp for leads. Will they recover their gnomish intern with a limited amount of bloodshed? If you believe that, you haven't been paying attention to the Freedom Guild.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Freedom Guild, where fantasy adventure meets real politic. We are your card-carrying guild members in good standing, and we are very excited to welcome you to our table. We're excited to jump back into our story, but first, let's introduce ourselves.
I am Nick. I am a half-orc paladin from the land of the Fountainhead, and my name, I suppose I should also mention, is Libertarius Beefslice the 25th. His favorite color is red, and you can find me on social media at Brigadier.
I'm Stephen Trolinger. I play Septimus Goldenmane, the High Elf Arcane Trickster, and you can find me on Twitter and Instagram at YourManTrollo and on TikTok at MyComedyBites.
Hello, I am Bill Pilkonis. I will be playing Abe Satarra, the Infernal Druid. You can find me out there in the mean streets.
And I'm Rob Parry. I will be playing everything else. You can't find me, so stop looking.
I turned to Libertarius and say, all right, you were right about the judgmental thing.
I think we've all learned an important lesson. Freeze frame, end credits.
Yeah, there we go. These happy days are yours and mine, Tamiston.
For our younger listeners, that
Yes.
was a clever reference to a very old show.
Which was itself spoofing a decade that happened long before it aired.
Yes, I get it. I'm old. Thank you.
Look, I'm a 15-year-old half-orc paladin. All your references are lost on me.
I look back at Crunchy in the car. I said, all right, Crunchy, did you notice any, I don't know, you said there's some, super sus people around? Did you notice any super sus people before you left on your walk?
Yeah, it's weird. Because I don't usually like to, think in those terms.
Super sus?
Yeah, because, most people are basically cool. I think the reason I had that in my head is because I saw some people around here that just reminded me of, those Red Eclipse guys back at the depot from earlier this week.
Remind you in what way?
Well, there was, do you remember that one, there was that tall guy that was, he was, a cat person? And, we met him going into the tuna cannery. He was asking us all those questions, and he was, really suspicious of us. I saw a guy that looked like him, and he had, he was, with a bunch of gnomes.
Can they ask you this? Were they all wearing uniforms?
No.
They weren't wearing their Red Eclipse uniforms.
They were all wearing these, really heavy brown robes that they had, cinched around him.
All of them were wearing the same brown robe.
Yeah. Obviously it wasn't the same one, because, the cat man, he was, pretty tall, so, his was, pretty big, but the gnomes, they're, they were little, so, they were wearing little ones, but they were, the same one, but they were little.
So what you're saying is they looked like Red Eclipse guys who were dressed in a nondescript manner like you would if you were about to do something.
Yeah, and I think that's why. I think it just...
Yeah, that's why you think that's why...
put me in, a certain headspace, right?
Yeah, it sparked a thought in your head that might be the case, yeah.
It made me kind of suspicious, and it's man, it really threw up at my... But, that was part of why I needed the walk, right? Because I was man, this is, putting me in a weird place. I don't like being in that headspace, so, I was...
Yes, no.
That's why I wanted to, clear my head.
Okay, great. So Next time, one of us stays with the car and the other person goes into the room. All right, good. We're learning to fight effectively as a unit and as a team. Good. Crunchy, do you know where the brown robe people went?
No, I haven't seen them around.
But if you saw them again, you would recognize them?
Well, yeah, more or less. I mean, like I said, like it was a big cat man and like a bunch of gnomes. Like they kind of stood out a little bit, even with the robes.
Rob, I would like to look around for a big cat man and a bunch of little gnomes in brown robes.
Sure. Do a perception check for me.
10.
10. You don't see anybody like that milling about the crowd as far as you can tell.
Wait, Septimus, you're really short. I'm tall. I want to do a perception check.
Okay.
Sorry, I want to do a perception check.
That works too, sure.
It's a 12.
On a 12, you don't see anyone standing about, but you do see the disturbed ground that Septimus pointed out. It does look like something was dragged, heading in the northeast, deeper toward one of the big clutches of tents that have been assembled outside the gates here. It gives you a direction, an idea of where he was headed, and it looks like it heads toward that clutch of tents. Obviously, all the crowds of people moving around have disturbed the ground much beyond that, but it does seem like, at least initially, it's in the direction of these tents.
All right, Septimus, I don't want to be alarmist because that's the government's job to try to scare us all, but I think that there's a chance that Zooks may have been dragged away, so I think we go this way.
Now, Rob, how much of this narrative would be disturbed by me callously declaring that Zooks was dead to us and that we should move on?
We're the heroes! New listeners, we are the heroes.
I mean, if that's what you want to do, yeah, you can choose to do that if you want to abandon Zooks.
So they're not going into the city. The tracks are leading into the encampment outside the city?
Yeah, the tracks lead further into this ad hoc refugee camp.
All right, I'm going to immediately break the rule that I just made not moments ago due to the current composition of our cast makeup. Crunchy's going to stay with the car, and Libertarius and I will go investigate.
After this, once we get Zooks back.
But once this is done, and the four of us are back on the same wavelength, we're going to institute that initial policy idea I had.
Oh, all right, man.
Steve, I like this can of worms you opened, where we could just choose not to care about anyone or anything and just see how far we literally survive in this world.
I don't know. We abandoned the father and Mono and Grizz pretty easily.
In fairness, though, you did that by accident. That wasn't a conscious choice.
True.
Your course of action that separated you very, very nearly killed all of you.
Everything was happening so fast.
Because this is actually an interesting point, now that I'm thinking about it. From Grizz, Mono, and the father's perspective, they have no reason to think you're alive.
Look, all I'm saying is that I now have a taste for abandoning friends. I've gotten a whiff of it, and I like the way it smells. I like the way it looks on me.
Is this Steve talking or Septimus?
Both. He and I are one.
All right, but you're gonna leave Crunchy to guard the car, and you guys are gonna take off further into the.
Oh shit! Wait, Septimus. An idea just occurred to Septimus. He checks the cart to see if all the money's still there, and drugs.
Oh yeah, no, you did that earlier. Like I said, nothing's missing.
Okay.
Except Zooks.
All right.
Except Zooks, who we can abandon.
Right.
Right, Septimus?
I was just saying they didn't take any of the money. If they're Red Eclipse, why would they just take one dude and not all of the shit we stole from them? Something to noodle over is all I'm saying.
And just to be clear, Libertarius, you didn't leave the small crystal that functions as the key to this thing. You're not leaving the key with it, right?
Oh, God, no, I'm taking that.
Okay. So with that, leaving Crunchy to guard the auto cart and what's left of your supplies, you guys head off deeper into the camp, following the trail of your kidnapped friend Zooks. As you guys head deeper into the refugee camp that has been set up outside the walls of Harmony Hill, you are searching for your lost friend Zooks. Give me an investigation check.
It's a dirty 20.
It's a dirty 8.
Septimus, you no longer see like the marks in the dirt where it looks like Zooks was dragged. But what does catch your eye is a tinderbox on the ground. that you recognize to be Zooks, leading down one of these small kind of makeshift streets in between two tents. And then down further, you see what looks to be a pen that you also recognize to be Zooks. And you are getting the impression that he might be trying to drop things off his person to leave a trail for you.
Ah, Zooks, very good. The Meriadoc Brandybuck maneuver, yes, very good, very clever.
Is that another old person reference?
Depends on your definition of old.
So yes. Do you head down in that direction?
I do.
I follow.
Get my Sherlock on.
As you come down toward the end of this row of tents, as you go to pick up the pen, an individual steps into your field of view and looks like they're also going for the pen.
Oh, it's a meet cute.
Yes, as you look over, you see an individual with very unique features. Bill, would you like to introduce your character?
Sure. General, physical description?
Yeah, so as Septimus walks forward and sees this article on the ground, what I would say to you, your character Abe, you also took notice of this. You have similarly been looking around. You heard a commotion coming from this direction a few minutes earlier, and as you made your way over in the middle of your own investigation, you happen upon this. I'm sorry, you don't like the word gaunt, right? How do you want me to describe Septimus?
Live?
Wafy?
No, not wafy. No, there's still there's like a taut level of musculature. It's the Tom Hiddleston physique. Imagine Tom Hiddleston shirtless, like I know we're
You
all
keep
doing.
saying that. I don't know who Tom Hiddleston is.
Like we're all doing right now. We're imagining Tom Hiddleston shirtless.
Yes.
It's like that.
As your character steps forward, you do see a lithe young elf step forward. He is dressed like a pirate captain, and he looks over and sees you. What does he see, Bill?
Looking over, you would see a red-skinned individual standing tall, thin, with very strong backswing horns on the top of their head, and more, what would you say, like lightly demonic features. Poorly dressed in sort of a light robe akin to stuff that you might have seen Crunchy wearing.
So, yes, as you look up Septimus, you see what looks to be an individual with devil-like features staring back at you as you both meet each other at this pen that Zooks had dropped.
Ah, a scion of Balthazar?
Now, where'd you go learning that, friend?
Oh, just a combination of enforced book learning as a child and also just a sort of latent racism I got from my parents. It's a thing. I'm trying to work it out.
Well, I can see that. Yeah, you types, not to throw the racism back, but you elves tend to have a bit of trouble with that. I do get it.
Okay, whoa, all right. Well, obviously, look, I just really opened myself up to a stranger just then, and that is exactly why I don't open myself to strangers, because I just get nothing but clapback.
Well, then, let me go and skip to step 2. My name is Abraxian Satarra. You can call me Abe, and it is a pleasure to meet you.
Are you sure it's a pleasure? Because it seems a little weird right now, the thing that we're, like, our back and forth, just a little awkward currently.
Well, hey, you and I both happen to bump into each other looking for the same item, so I think there's going to be a little tension inherently, right?
I am...
if I may ask, what are you looking for with that
Well,
pen, friend?
I am Captain Moondust, and I am in search... What? What is it now?
No, nothing.
I take that to be so Libertarius walks up and joins you.
Yes.
heaving a tired sigh as Septimus breaks out.
No.
Captain Moondust.
I was sighing about something else.
My name, as I was saying, is Captain Moondust. This is my counterpart.
I am Libertarius Beefslice the 25th, and I extend a meaty hand.
I meet that hand and squeeze it with absolutely no gusto. Shaken very vigorously. And a pleasure to meet you, Libertarius. Absolutely a pleasure.
We are in search of our friend Zooks, whose pen this is that you have just attempted to pick up. What interest of it is yours? Is a sentence I can get out.
Well, I was just following the tracks more. I don't really need the pen, per se. I too, am missing a friend and kind of urgently need to speak with him. So I'm thinking it might be fate. y'all's ran into me, because it seems like we might have an opportunity to go find them people.
Is it fate or an issue of someone kidnapping multiple people?
Or perhaps of this big locked door out front that's just kind of putting us all in the same place.
That too.
You said you're looking for, what is this Zooks guy?
He's a gnomish gentleman, about yay high. I dramatically undersize him based on my own perspective.
And Zooks is only about 2.5 feet tall, so you lean all the way down.
Yeah, I'm a real, not even realizing I'm doing it, I'm a huge asshole about it. It doesn't even occur to me that I'm being an asshole.
Look, we're all works in progress. The point is you got to take the victories and the baby steps where they come.
Take what you can.
So then I guess here's a question, GM Rob, did I see... I mean, I was coming from the opposite direction, correct? So did I...
Yes,
Have I knowingly seen any gnomes recently?
Let's do an investigation check for you. Let's see, because you were on your own hunt. You were sent here. You were looking for your friend and had kind of been tasked with the guard captain for keeping an eye out for the red eclipse. So let's do an investigation check to see how successful you've been, like what you might actually have a lead on.
So that's 15 plus 2, 17.
You had heard a scuffle coming from this direction, and you do know from talking to a number of the other refugees that people were staying away from this area of the camp due to some sketchy characters. So as you are heading further into this corner of the camp that abuts where the forest meets the cliff, you are finding fewer people, and there is a little more space. Basically, you've been heading toward the part of the camp that nobody else wants to go near.
That is right on point. Well, I will convey as much to them that, I suspect the Captain Elias has been sending me to try to stop the Clips people from getting into town, and given everyone's real uncomfortable around these parts, I'm figuring they're probably there. So if y'all could help me, I mean, if they're bad seeds, they might have taken your friend too.
I'm sorry, I'm just getting a real Andy Griffith vibe off of you right now. It's throwing me off a little.
Who's Andy
That's
Griffith?
really showing your age, friend.
I just really feel like you're heading down to the fishing hole. It's just, that's the vibe I'm getting.
That is not incorrect.
Are you
I have
some
not
kind of
spent a much time as what you would call in urbanized areas amongst what you would probably call society, friend. So,
Tell you what, I'm going to call you Mayberry from now on. That's your new fun nickname.
right there in it is a Mayberry.
Great, I've got another one of these now. Are you some kind of city guard? You said the captain put you onto this. Are you some sort of city official? Or?
Unofficially conscripted, I guess you could say. I was walking into town, and rather than go to prison, I told him I'd help him out.
Yeah, free market's working.
If you know anything about them red eclipse, that's who I'm looking for. That's who I'm looking to keep out.
We've definitely got some physical descriptions of them, should we see them, if you have an idea of where to go from here.
There's the wrong side of the tracks in this camp, as it were. Try over there. Everything's real uncomfortable.
Sure, I feel like we could probably use the help of someone who's been here for a while, or at least longer than we have.
We haven't been here that long.
No, why don't you go on ahead and we'll follow you.
You got it, friend.
As soon as he's out of earshot, I turn to Libertarius and he's at it, like he walks away and I see like the state of his dress and how he looks like, what Crunchy looks like. And I turn to Libertarius and I whisper, I swear, between Crunchy and this guy, it's like I'm collecting hobos.
Actually, on that note, Septimus, give me an insight check.
On the note of collecting hobos.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, let me ask this just out of
Gotta
character.
catch them all.
Yeah, gotta catch them all. I got Jasper.
Oh man, it's Hepatitis Bill. He's a legendary.
I got Train Car Willie.
He heard himself in confusion.
That reminds me to ask Bill, out of character, please tell me your character has wisdom.
Oh, he's incredibly wise, yes.
Oh, thank Christ. Oh my God.
It's his
Yeah.
primary stat, yeah.
Bill was between a couple builds, but as an experienced player, he basically first asked, what doesn't the party have? What needs to be covered?
Oh,
And we
thank
landed
you,
on
Bill.
wisdom, very much wisdom.
That's that 25 years of experience coming in for you.
After I say my hilarious, witty bon mot, we follow.
Well, hold on. That insight check.
Oh, right. That's right. I forgot.
Yeah, if you could give me an insight check as you are looking at how Abe is dressed.
13.
Boy, he really is dressed like Crunchy. Like, it's strange, considering that they are both just kind of dressed like they're living rough. It does have an almost uniform appearance to it, though. So now you follow him further in.
Steve knows what you're getting at, Rob, but Septimus doesn't because his
No,
roll was
Septimus
shitty.
one, it's only a 13.
Yeah.
Libertarius doesn't know, and Nick kind of doesn't know either.
So we're actually all in pretty good shape right now.
Look, my character has an intelligence of 8, and I try to live that every day just to stay in character with my character.
You've made that your truth.
I have.
As the party continues, true to Abe's information, the tents become sparser, and there is a large, for current circumstances, clearing between most of the camp and the edge of the wood, in the middle of which sits a very large tent. Nondescript, canvas-sided, but it is a large, almost like a military camp tent. It has an open flap. No one is standing outside of it. It is, I would say, the definition of too quiet as you approach it.
Abe will take that moment to take out his panpipes
Okay?
and play the Pipes of Haunting.
The Pipes of Haunting?
This is the magic item that you got to start with.
Right. So anyone within earshot will have to roll a DC 15 wisdom save or be frightened and run the fuck away from me.
Does that include us?
Yeah.
It does include
Right,
you.
yes.
And
Yes.
actually, at the moment, as near as you could tell, like I said, would only include you because you don't see anybody else. But if there is
Yes.
anyone hidden, it would include them as well.
Terrific. What am I rolling, Bill?
Roll a wisdom
wisdom.
saving throw.
Wisdom saving throw. Thanks, Bill.
That's a 6.
5.
It's been a real single-digit session.
As Abe walks forward, he brings out these. How would you describe them, Bill? Do they just look like?
Haunting.
Like a
Yes.
set of panpipes, but with some really macabre accoutrements on them. Maybe some little like bones hanging off or small animal skulls, things like that.
Game recognizes game. I say that as he pulls it out before he starts playing it.
And then as he starts playing it, you hear this lilting, haunting, shrill melody.
It's Yoko Ono?
Yes.
Oh, well, that's pretty old. You gotta be pretty old to understand that reference, Nick.
Yoko Ono and Bjork joined in the furnace of hell into a solid alloy of haunting pipe music.
I'd listen to that.
I mean, I gotta hear it now. I'm gonna have to find something to put under this. As Abe saunters forward, playing this haunting music, Libertarius and Septimus, you both stop dead in your tracks and stop following him as he walks forward. Abe, you don't see anyone nearby. Is there a range on it, or just within earshot?
I believe it's within earshot. Let me double check here real quick. Oh, sorry. Each creature within 30 feet that hears me. So yeah, there you go.
Okay. In that case, you don't see anyone else move. If your intent was to flush out anyone hiding, you don't see anyone moving.
Noted.
But what about us? We're very scared.
Okay, I'm sorry. I'm sorry about the Mayberry thing. You know, Abe is fine. I'll go with Abe. Abe is great. Abe's a great name.
Sorry about the lack of order, friends. I just like to check these things before I walk into new situations.
Yeah, man. That's cool.
Yeah, it can be really important to check on things before you enter into new situations. I've had some personal experience in that department myself.
And it's been going great for you.
Yeah. In fact, I want to roll an Arcana check on this tent.
Okay.
19. Is it a magic tent?
No, it is not a magic tent.
Oh, okay.
Tapping into your arcane sense, you're not getting any powerful magic coming off of it. You are not seeing any of the warding runes drawn into the ground or painted around the side of it. It just looks like a bog standard canvas tent.
I'm tempted to do an intimidation check on the tent itself to see if anything happens, but
If you can tell me what that looks like, you can certainly try.
yeah, no. So, although wait, just so I don't waste 3 minutes of time, would the pipes of haunting have anything that was actually a creature of any kind would have made itself known, right? There's no weird
Anything-
DMing exceptions to that.
Just like you guys did, anything that would have heard him and failed that wisdom check would have run away from
Okay.
Abe.
Are we still frightened?
As soon as the music stops, you are no longer filled with this intense feeling of fear and dread.
All right.
Oh, I feel so much better.
I guess we'll go into the tent then, he said out loud. I'm having a hard time differentiating my voice with my character voice today. I'm sorry.
Hey, that's all right. Welcome to my world.
All becoming one.
Oh yeah, sure, man.
Oh yeah, absolutely. That's the thing. Like my DM accent is pretty good, but like sometimes I still slip into my normal talking voice like this. All right, yeah. Are you guys just heading in the tent?
Yeah,
I see no way this could possibly go wrong for us at this time.
I've got a lot of armor. I lead the way.
Okay. Libertarius charges into the tent.
Okay, I didn't charge. Okay, don't get it twisted. But I walk very confidently,
There. You walk confidently in through the front flap of the tent.
and I'm immediately decapitated by something.
All right. As you walk inside, are the rest of you following him?
Yes.
All right. You step out onto a series of rugs have been placed in front of this main entrance. As you walk in, Libertarius, with Septimus on one side behind you and Abe over the other shoulder.
Holy shit, is this a Harry Potter tent?
No, it's just a really big
Bigger on
tent.
the inside.
Oh, okay.
You did a whole check to make sure it wasn't magical. It's not a TARDIS.
That's true. Technically speaking, Rob, the TARDIS within magic is powered by alien science.
It's magic.
It's like what Einstein said. What is science but alien magic?
As you walk inside, you see the tent itself is mostly a large open area. You can see some freestanding wooden screens have been set up to create small rooms around the sides. But the large open area itself, it looks like a pit has been dug into the ground in the center of it, and a large, what looks to be stove, furnace, fireplace kind of structure has been placed in the middle of it. There is a large fire burning in the center of it, and you see a plume of smoke coming up through an opening up in the top of the tent itself. But standing immediately in front of you, knife at his throat, is Zooks, who is being held by the tall, lean... Well, got a lot of tall, lean people this episode.
Look, everyone in this universe does a lot of walking.
It's true.
You got to be really rich and lazy to get fat in
There's
this
a
world.
lot of foppish dandies in this world.
Now, there's one fewer now. Standing before you, knife to his throat, you see Zooks, who is being held by the cat-like humanoid man who was mentioned earlier, who you do recognize from the entrance to the tuna cannery, where you guys had your previous showdown. The cat man is flanked on either side by two gnomes, and you can see a fifth gnome poking above the big fire pit furnace with a crossbow trained on the door. As you walk inside, the cat man smiles broadly, baring his sharp teeth, and he says, yes, hello. Do you remember me? Because I remember all of you.
I would like to think that I remembered somebody with a voice that creeped me out that much. So the fact that I don't, it could be, 6 one, half dozen the other. But like seriously, that you gotta work on that. Like that's immediately off-putting.
Zooks! That's what I say.
It's okay, Libertarius.
Hey, I'm like 99% certain I do not know you, Mr. Catman.
Yes, that's true. I did speak too soon. I'm actually not sure who the fuck you are, but...
Let me guess, vendetta for your poppy, something? We killed your friends, something or other?
Oh, I don't care about any of that. I just want the auto card. I need the key. You give me the key, I take the auto carts. You can have your little friend back with all of his original holes.
Where is Zooks again?
Zooks is standing in this pit that they have dug next to this open furnace in the middle. The Catman is holding him with a dagger to his throat.
Hey, just a random question. If I were to like quick draw my hand crossbow, would that be a surprise?
I don't think it would be a surprise. I would let you do a sleight of hand to try to get a shot off, but it would basically be to try to get the shot off before he stabs Zooks. It would not count as a sneak attack or anything like that.
I was weighing whether or not we wanted to just pop off immediately or not.
That's an option.
It would be really cool if it works, and if not, our friend is dead.
Roughly how far away are we from them?
You are not too far. It's a large tent, but you are still in a tent. So you in particular, Abe, are 20 feet from Zooks. Call it 25 feet from the cat.
Okay, he's got Zooks in front of him. Gotcha.
Yeah, picture it like human shield style. And in the case of Zooks, Zooks is not on the ground. When I say the Catman is holding him, I mean he has him like held up to him like a shield with a knife to his neck. And Zooks's gnomish legs are dangling from beneath.
Oh,
Oh wait, he's super tall.
that'd be funny if it wasn't
So he's
tragic.
super tall compared to Zooks, right?
He's very tall compared to Zooks.
So there's no like me accidentally missing and hitting Zooks in the face.
I mean, not in the face. I would say Zooks is covering most of his center of mass.
Yeah, he's like a Robert De Niro type body structure, I imagine.
In this particular case, if you want to picture it, Zooks would almost be functioning like a human bulletproof vest, like in terms of the surface area he's covering.
I throw my hands up and I go, oh, the auto cart. Oh, well, how do you know we have such a thing? And as I'm talking to him, I manifest my mage hand,
Okay.
my invisible mage hand.
I was about to say, I'm assuming you're using your particular arcane trickster
Yes.
ability to render it invisible.
Yes, and I'm snaking it ever so, as as well. It's invisible. I guess I don't need to be.
No, you don't need to be subtle
slight
about it.
yeah.
Yeah, you can.
I'm snaking it to him as I'm holding his attention. And what kind of trousers is he wearing? Does he have belt on?
He does have a belt. It's almost like a Final Fantasy situation. He's wearing a bunch of belts.
Oh, he's a weeb too.
Yeah, you could see he does seem to be decked out. He's got a number of belts. He's got 2 short swords hanging off of the belts. In addition to the dagger, he's got to Zooks' throat. It looks to be a pretty well-made set of leather armor that he's wearing, but there's a lot of belts, a lot of pouches.
And all these other guys, are they pointing anything at us, like crossbows or anything?
All of the gnomes have crossbows trained at the door.
Okay. I would like to try, if it's doable, to move the invisible mage hand, to like rest on one of the barrels of one of those crossbows.
Okay.
I don't know if I can do this. Basically, what I want to try to do is I want to try to like nudge it, hope it startles him, and then like nudge it in the direction that like if it startled him and he let loose with it, it would like hit the guy holding Zooks hostage.
Okay. I'm open to that. Let me just check because I know, given your subclass, your mage hand in particular is an upgraded form.
Right. You don't know it can do one of those things.
Hold on 1 second. Let me just check and see.
Well, I have
exactly.
it here. You can stow one object the hand is holding in a container worn or carried by another creature. You can retrieve an object in a container worn or carried by another creature. You can use thieves' tools to pick locks and disarm traps at range, and you can perform one of these tasks without being noticed if you succeed on a sleight of hand check.
Okay. What does it say about a weight limit? It's
Pounds?
5 pounds for the standard, which is why I'm wondering the upgrade. Okay, it doesn't say it directly. I'm willing to let you try this. If you want to try to push the crossbow of one of these gnomes is holding and have it go off in the direction of the cat, it's going to be contested by the strength of the person firing it,
Okay.
if that makes sense. So
Yeah.
you can try to shove it with your mage hand, but it's going to be contested. And if it doesn't go off, then, they're going to know something's up at that point.
Right.
I would say it's a strength check. Obviously, because it's a magic hand, I wouldn't have you use your strength modifier. I think it'll just be a straight roll for you.
That's no good. No, that's too much failure. Too much failure in that.
That's how, if you wanted to do that, that's how I'd set it up.
All right. I didn't want to do this. I snake it around so that it is directly underneath his groin.
Okay.
And I'm still got my hands up, and I'm still like talking to him the whole time. It's like, how do you know we have the auto cart? I'm not even sure what an auto cart is, to be perfectly frank with you.
Just call it a car. I have my hands up too. I say to him.
I recognize the car. It was my employer's. My former employer's. Thank you for that.
You're welcome.
And I found your little friend sitting inside of it, so I know it's yours.
And you took him and didn't take the... Oh, right, you don't have the key, because he's got the key.
Shh.
On yet.
Oh, okay. Well, I guess we could give it to you. I'm just wondering of the true cost of all of this. What happens if we don't give it to you?
You want to make an informed decision. I get it.
I just want to make an informed decision,
I'm sorry. I thought you were smart. First I kill your friend, then we kill you and we take it.
Oh, okay, so no matter what, we die?
I will let you live if you give it to me right now, but you are already testing the limits of my patience.
Well, you seem like a weird guy you seem like a bad guy to piss off, so I wouldn't want to test the limit of your patience. I could test the limit of your fortitude, and then I use the mage hand to just grab onto his nuts as hard as possible.
Okay. I think this is going to be a sleight of hand.
Terrific.
That's what it was in college.
Yes. To successfully grasp his balls through his armor, I think you're going to need to succeed on a sleight of hand check.
Roll for fondle.
What's 16 plus 8?
Enough.
24.
Enough, yeah.
All right. Yes. As you say that, your mage hand reaches up and grabs this cat by the balls and squeezes.
He coughs.
He lets out a shriek and drops Zooks to the floor. Zooks does not manage to stay on his feet. He falls prone in front of you.
At least his throat didn't get slit on the way down. Thank God for small favors.
I shout, take him!
In that moment, I will use my thorn whip and grab Zooks and pull him towards us.
Okay.
You've got a thorn whip?
Oh, yeah.
All right. What I would say for this is make that ranged. Well, I guess it's a melee spell attack. Yeah. Oh, right, because it is
Range of 30 feet, yeah.
But it is still a melee spell attack because it's okay.
Right.
Okay. What I would say is make that attack, and I'm gonna say if you manage to successfully hit Zooks in this case, if you succeed by 5 or more, I'll say that you do it deftly enough that he won't take damage as you drag him toward you.
Okay, cool.
If you succeed at whipping him good...
Yeah, between the ball grabbing and the whipping.
This is my kind of night.
18.
18?
18.
The barely legal of throws.
Yes. Actually, I would say an 18 is just enough to successfully grab Zooks without harming him and drag him 10 feet. The horns on Abe's head bloom like branches in an eruption of color and magical energy as they produce a thick, thorny vine from the sleeves of their robe. They lash out with careful precision, wrapping the vine around the gnome's arm and dragging him to the relative safety of the doorway. And with that, we'll roll for initiative.